Every insurance company, every appraiser knows about this. Document's been out since 2008.
Okay.
All right, so they know about this document.
Yeah.
But rarely you will find it on their estimate, or usually even on a body shop's estimate, because they don't know. Or it's not because they don't know, it's because they don't put it on there, and they're not going to do it.
Hello everybody and welcome back to the airing of Grievances. I'm Eric Raymer, this is Robert Grieve, and we are very happy that you are here. Rob, I couldn't help but notice, you're wearing your Toyota Lexus collision repair and refinish training cap.
Makes me smarter.
It does?
Yep.
Okay, all right.
Yep. Well, nothing evaporates, it just goes back in.
It's too late for me. All right, so what are we talking about today? Before we even start, brother.
Happy Saturday to you.
Happy Saturday to you.
And while you're here right now, go ahead and click that like button because you're going to love what we're doing.
We appreciate that.
Should be a love button.
There should be a love button, but Google hasn't caught up with the Facebook yet. But we'll let you do the like button. Don't forget to click subscribe and hit the notification bell. That helps Google know, or YouTube know, that you're interested in this information, and they share it with more people like you. All right, so you're wearing that hat. For a minute, I thought you were going to wear this hat.
No, it's a hat, but it's a different kind of hat.
I see.
So we're going to take a look at a car that we have in the shop today. As a matter of fact, you can see it behind us.
Right back there.
Yeah.
Yep.
That very car, which is a 2022 Lexus RX.
That's brand
hybrid.
New. A hybrid.
Hybrid.
Okay.
So gas and battery.
Yes.
Not a plug-in.
Not a plug-in. Okay.
Not a plug-in.
Understood.
So, the first thing I want to do is I want to just show a quick video of me walking around it.
Okay.
So you can see up close what's going on with this car.
Yeah. And the first thing that I notice in this video is, first of all, it's wrapped.
Yep.
And it's got all kinds of documentation all over it, including you cannot miss that this is an electric vehicle, and there's a high risk of danger if we don't do things right.
That is correct.
Okay.
That's correct. And the other thing I want you to notice, when we first start out the video, you'll notice the vehicle has one of these on it.
Yeah.
All hybrid or electric vehicles that are in the shop have one of these on it. So everybody around knows that there's a high voltage vehicle there.
Okay.
Be sensitive to it. But even more than that, if something were to happen in the middle of the night and the fire department showed up and they walked in the place, they could see that there's high voltage vehicles and be a little ginger.
Okay, and we're going to talk about the reasons why we should be ginger during this activity, right?
Well, what I want to focus on today is some of the things that you may want to make sure are on your estimate.
Oh, okay.
So that's my purpose for this one.
Gotcha.
And it's not only because it's high voltage. Any Toyota Lexus that you have in the shop is going to have several of these things. There'll be more if it's a high voltage.
I understand.
Or a hybrid.
Okay.
But let's just run through the videotape real fast.
Yep.
And you'll see walking up on the car, you'll see the hat on it, so everybody knows there's a high voltage. And then you'll see some documentation and the actual plug.
That's a plug?
That's a plug.
Okay.
That comes out of the hybrid system to disable it, so it's not running.
All right.
And this is a rear body panel replacement, and you can see the care that's taken. These are the actual procedures for replacing the rear body panel that the tech will be using, and so that's just a quick snapshot of the vehicle. I think that we should just show right now what the vehicle looked like before we took it apart.
Okay.
It doesn't look, from the street view, if you will, like it's really crunched.
No.
But what's behind that big plastic bumper is that rear body panel that is all damaged
I see.
and needed to be replaced. So now you have an idea what it looked like before
Right.
we're getting into it, and you can see that there's a lot that goes into this repair.
Sure.
Just protecting the vehicle,
Yeah.
there's a lot that
Right.
goes into the repair. So you noticed some of those procedures up there,
Yep.
and one of them, and I'm just going to read this to you because it's important, and this is a like a technical bulletin,
Okay.
which is also in the procedures. But anybody can find this bulletin if they put in crib number, I think it's 161.
161. Yeah.
It'll bring you to these precautions.
Gotcha.
And that's for all Toyota, Lexus, Scion vehicles.
Right. Now, the 161 is specific to this vehicle.
No?
Oh no.
No. 161 is what they call a crib.
Oh,
And that is an overarching
I understand.
document, so that if you look up the rear body panel procedure, they assume that you already know this.
I got you.
All right,
Okay.
and this applies to every Toyota, Lexus, Scion vehicle,
All right.
and it basically overrides a procedure. So unless the procedure says don't do this,
Yeah.
then you have to do this.
I
You have to
understand.
pay attention to these, and there's several precautions, but the one I want to call out today is always observe the following electric welding precautions.
Okay.
So when we weld panels on today, there are several different ways that can be done, but they're all with electric welders,
Okay. Sure.
okay, on these vehicles. And what it says is, before performing any electric welding, turn off the ignition, disconnect the negative terminal of the 12-volt battery. Notice they call it the 12-volt battery, not the big one.
Not the big one.
Remove any ECUs within 18 inches of the weld sites. So those are your little computers and monitors, and just
Okay.
remove all those within 18 inches of anything you're going to be welding. And then disconnect the main SRS computer connector. Then waiting 90 seconds before starting any welding.
You know, this calls back in my mind to another conversation that we had on the airing of Grievances about an estimator working for the insurance company, or an adjuster, I should say, working for the insurance company, who did not feel that was necessary.
Well, it's right there, and it's clear. It's clear.
All right.
And so, no matter if you have a hybrid or not a hybrid, if you have a Toyota, Lexus, Scion, and there's going to be any welding on the vehicle, then you need to see on your estimate,
Yeah.
disconnect the battery,
Right.
because that's not included in anything, remove any ECUs,
Yeah.
so R and I of different ECUs,
And R&I stands for.
remove and reinstall.
Okay.
So you want to see them, and that line is both.
Okay.
It's to pay you to take it off and put
then
it back on.
Okay. Gotcha.
And most importantly, disconnect the SCRS plug.
the SRS plug.
The SRS plug.
SCRS is grateful for your plug, but
That's funny.
it's a different plug.
Yeah, it's a different plug.
Gotcha.
And if you don't see those on your estimate, if there's going to be any welding done to the vehicle, and there's a lot of welding done to vehicles
Sure.
to repair, then you're probably in the wrong place, and the vehicle is not going to get repaired properly, because anybody can find this online.
Yeah.
Anybody can find this online. So it's important that you find those things on your estimate and that they're doing it. And then we have accountability.
Yeah.
So one of those pages that you saw on the side of the vehicle is saying, caution, it's a high voltage, do not touch, and who's in charge of that particular repair,
Okay.
in case you need to talk to them.
Yep.
And the hybrid plug that disabled the whole system
The one that we talked about earlier.
is taped to the outside of the vehicle, so you can see that it has been disabled.
Yes.
And nobody can make this car run or do anything because the battery cable's been disconnected and the hybrid's been disconnected.
Gotcha.
And that's clear for everybody to see.
Yep.
So This other picture is, it's really kind of hard to tell, but you'll see a seat belt, the 2 seat belts in there.
Yeah.
And this is what it looks like when you take your center console out.
Oh, sure.
Okay. So the center console between the 2 front seats.
Yep.
That is where the SRS.
It's all right. Folks, SCRS, the Society of Collision Repair Specialists, Rob is a board member of that organization, and it's easy to get those two connected. But the SRS is the Safety
module.
Restraint System.
Yeah. That's for all your airbags.
Yes.
And so that's where the module lives, is underneath the center console.
Gotcha.
So yes, we have to go into the car and now disassemble the center console in order to get at the module to unplug it. That needs to be on your estimate.
Yeah, and I'm guessing, I mean, just from, I don't know this to be accurate, so we can edit it out if it's not, but I'm guessing that in many cases it may not show up on your estimate because the adjuster from whatever insurance company is doing your case may or may not think it's necessary.
Well, let's we can get into that for a second, because everybody, the insurance company knows about this document. Every insurance company, every appraiser knows about this document. It's been out since 2008.
Okay.
All right, so they know about this document.
Yeah.
But rarely you will find it on their estimate, or usually even on a body shop's estimate, because they don't know. Or it's not because they don't know, it's because they don't put it on there, and they're not going to do it. This, what didn't seem like a very big repair, it can turn into a lot of work if you're going to do it the way Lexus, Toyota, and Scion wants it done.
Which is the only way that we do it here.
It's the only way we'll do it here, and there's a whole lot more things that are happening with this car that I'm not going to take time to go into.
Yeah.
These are important things that you should see on your estimate or your repair plan, and if you don't see them on there, whether you're in need of it in the future, you're in need of it right now, or it's already been repaired, you should go back and look at your estimate. Was that stuff done? Because if not, then there's probably other things that weren't done properly.
Mm-hmm.
And if that's the case, give me a call and let's talk about it.
I'll put the phone number right here so that you can take a look at that. And of course, our contact information is in the description box below as well.
Yeah. So, today's video is really just kind of walk you through, and there's so many Toyotas and Lexuses and Scions out on the road. We thought you'd show you something that's in process and some of the stuff that we have to go through. Again, at the end, once we do get, put this whole thing back together, there'll be another scan. We'll plug into the electrical system of the car and make sure everything's operating as it's supposed to. But when you disconnect a battery on these vehicles, many of them have reinitializations that need to take place.
Sure.
You should also see them on your estimate. Because if you don't see them on your estimate, I almost guarantee you they're not being done.
Wow. All right. Buyer beware. And again, Rob, always thank you for bringing this to our attention, for sharing your knowledge of this information, and you can help us as well. First of all, if you saw something that was new or something that helped you, drop a note in the comments. Let us know that we are hitting the right nerve. And secondarily, grab a copy of the link of this video and share it to your social media feeds. If you're using Facebook or Twitter, just pop that link into there and share that, because how many people do you know that drive a Toyota or a Lexus or a Scion, right?
Yeah. And they get repaired, and there's things that need to be followed.
Yeah, absolutely. If it's not perfect,
it's not leaving.
Thanks again for watching. We appreciate you. This is the airing of grievances.
Happy Saturday, everybody.
Happy Saturday to you.
Appreciate you for tuning in.